Greetings from Rachna Sagar. Today, I will explain you all the activities that are included in eScience Made Fun with Mentors Mojo Kit. Let's start. Let's start with chapter number 1, that is Plants Around Us. For this chapter, we have two activities. Number 1 is this pocket chart. In this pocket chart, the student has to label the parts of the plant. For example, this is the leaf and this is the function of the leaf. How you have to do this activity is mentioned in the instruction manual. Through this activity, the child will develop communication skills, fine motor and gross motor skills, collaboration skills, teamwork, etc. And for this chapter, we have one more activity, that is spot the plant. These are the flashcards. There are 20 flashcards in this activity, and how you can do this activity is mentioned in the instruction manual, and various variations you can do in the activity is also mentioned in this instruction manual. Now, through this activity, the students will develop again teamwork, collaborative skills, communication skills, care, responsibility, etc. One of the most interesting part about this Mojo box is our socio-emotional and logical skills cards, because NEP and NCF suggests that we should develop various values in the students through the chapters. So for each chapter, we have 2 to 3 questions so that the child would develop different values. Through this socio-emotional and logical skill card, the student will develop values like empathy, responsibility, care, etc. Let's move to chapter number 2, Plants Are Useful. For this chapter, we have a very interesting board game. How you can play this board game is written in the instruction manual, so you can refer it there. This board game is printed both the sides, and you are provided with a dice so that you can play the game effectively. Now, this board game develops several skills in the students. For example, communication skills, collaborative skills, critical thinking skills, decision-making skills, problem-solving skills, etc. And for this chapter as well, we have the socio-emotional and logical skill cards that would develop several skills or values in the students, like responsibility towards the environment, problem solving, decision making, etc. You get the instruction manual in this. Everything is mentioned that would help you in making the classroom fun and interactive. Let's move to chapter number 3, Domestic Animals. For this chapter, we have several activities. Number 1, we have these clocks. So, the teacher can teach which animal provides which product through this clock. How you can use these clocks are written in instruction manual, and this activity will develop fine motor skills in the students, creative thinking, communication skills, collaborative skills, etc. Let's move to the activity 2 of the chapter number 3, that is this pocket chart. Through this pocket chart, the teacher can teach about the different types of animals like pet animals, draft animals, and domestic animals. Now, this activity will help the students in developing care, compassion, responsibility, fine motor skills and gross motor skills, and how you can use this pocket chart in various ways is given in this instruction manual. Again, for this chapter, we do have our socio-emotional and logical skills cards, which will develop empathy and care for the animals in the students. Chapter number 4 in the book is Wild Animals. For this chapter, we have these flashcards, and There is a fun game the teacher can teach the students, which is mentioned in the instruction manual. This activity will definitely develop collaborative skills, teamwork, communication skills, creative skills, etc. in the students. Also, for this activity, we have a poster. Side A represents afforestation and side B represents deforestation. The teacher can teach the difference between deforestation and afforestation through this fun poster. This activity will develop communicative skills in students. And for this chapter as well, we have our socio-emotional and logical skills cards that will develop the feeling of empathy and care in the students. Let's move to chapter number 5, human body, bones and muscles. For this, we have a very interesting and creative activity designed for our students. We have provided this skeleton and few earbuds. So, the teacher can ask the students to complete this skeleton using this earbud. This activity will develop fine motor skills, gross motor skills in the students, also communication skills, problem solving skills, decision making skills, analytical skills, creative thinking skills, critical thinking skills, etc. Now, let's move to the next activity of the same chapter, that is the postures of the body. It is very important to make students understand about the right postures of the body. So, you can use these flashcards to explain the same. Also, how you can use each activity or you can play a game is written in the instruction manual with some of the variations for the activity. Now, next activity for the same chapter is this poem. So, a child can do and learn through this poem and he or she can do the actions and learn the same. Also, the variations of the activities again mentioned in the instruction manual. For this chapter, we have the socio-emotional and logical skills cards, which will develop various skills or values in the students. Let's move to chapter number 6, food for health. For this chapter, we have this clock which we have named food maze. Through this clock, the teacher can teach about various meals the student should take during the day. Now, how you can use this clock is written in this instruction manual with various variations. But through this activity, the students will definitely develop communication skills, responsibility, care, etc. Now, for this chapter, we have a very interesting activity, that is this thumbs up, thumbs down. Through this activity, the teacher can teach about the junk food and the healthy food. Now, this activity will develop communication skills, collaborative skills, responsibility, compassion, etc. Now, for this chapter, we have the third activity, that is this pocket chart. And through this pocket chart, the teacher can teach about various types of food, that is bodybuilding food, energy giving food, protective food. Now, if you will see all the activities and the chapter, you will see that we have covered each and every line through the activities, which will help the students in developing 100% marks, and this will also help in lifelong learning. Now, for this chapter as well, we have the socio-emotional and logical skills cards, which will develop various skills or values in the students. Chapter number 7, safety for all. For this activity, we have a Velcro activity that is very essential to educate the students about, that is safety in touch. So, this activity will develop a feeling of empathy and responsibility, care towards one another, and they will come to know about the difference between good touch and bad touch. So this is a Velcro activity. So the students can do this Velcro activity and learn about it. Now, how you can do this activity is written in the instruction manual. Let's move to the next activity for the same chapter, that is safety for all. As you can see, there are various pictures and the student can paste green or red velcros on it, or they can use this smiley to depict which activity is safe for them and which is unsafe, and how you can do this activity in various ways is given in the instruction manual. For this activity as well, we have our socio emotional and logical skills cards that would develop a sense of empathy, care, responsibility, etc. in the students. Let's start with chapter number 8, housing and clothing. For this chapter, we have a very interesting board game, Know Your Houses, that the students can play from both the sides. How you can use this board game is given in instruction manual, and the variations how you can play this game in different ways is also given in the instruction manual. Plus, you get a dice so that you can play this game in an interesting way. This game will definitely develop a skill of creativity, communication, collaborative skills, critical thinking skills, problem solving skills, etc. Now, for this chapter as well, we have the socio-emotional and logical skills cards, which will develop various skills or values in the students. Let's move to chapter number 9, air. For this chapter, we have different dummies in front of you. Okay, how you have to do these activities are given in instruction manual, and you are provided with these dummies. This is the paper fan, and the students will learn various properties of air through these activities. For example, this is the paper fan, and you can ask the students to make the paper fan. All the instructions are given in the instruction manual, so you can definitely refer to that. Next, you have this weathercock. The students can do this activity and develop creativity, communication skills, collaborative skills, as they can do it with their friends and peers. And the students can learn about various directions. Next, you are also provided a compass with it so that the students can do hands-on learning. Next, you are provided with these balloons so that you can do another activity which is mentioned in the instruction manuals to know the properties of air. Now, these activities will develop many skills like communication skills, as I mentioned, critical thinking skills, analytical thinking, problem solving skills, decision making skills, creative skills. They will also develop fine motor skills and gross motor skills in them. Next, we have the socio-emotional and logical skills cards, which will develop various skills or values in the students. Let's move to chapter number 10, water. For this chapter, we have a Velcro activity for sources of water. You are provided with various Velcro cards, as you can see, and then you have to label the various sources of water. For example, this is rainwater, and how you can do this activity is given in the instruction manual, so you can refer to that. The second activity for water chapter is this, a wonderful and creative activity that the teacher can do in the class. Firstly, she can ask the students to draw this water cycle and then fill the ziplock with water and then explain the water cycle. This will definitely develop a sense of creativity, collaboration, drawing skills, scientific technique skills, etc. in the students. Also, how you can do this activity is given in the instruction manual. Next, we have socio-emotional and logical skill cards for the chapter as well. And then you can develop various values in the students through these socio-emotional and logical skill cards. Let's move to chapter number 11, things around us. For this, we have a very interesting game, that is the thread activity. What the student can do, the student have to drag the natural things in the natural things column and the human made things in the human made column. For example, as you can see, I'm doing that. So how you can do this activity is given in the instruction manual. So you can refer it there. Next, we have the socio-emotional and logical skill cards. Through these activities, the students will develop various skills like the respect towards the natural things, how to preserve them, communication skills, decision-making skills, problem-solving skills, analytical skills, etc. Let's move to chapter number 12, Rocks and Minerals. For this chapter, we have given a monument visit which is mentioned in the instruction manual. Let's move to chapter number 13, Sunlight and Shadow. For this chapter, we have a Velcro activity. As you can see, at the front, we have a beautiful morning scene, and at the back, we have fill in the blanks, and you are provided with cards like these, and the student has to fill in the blank like this. How you can do this activity is given in the instruction manual. You can refer it there. Next, we have our socio-emotional and logical skill card for this chapter as well. This chapter will help the students in developing skills like communication skills, problem-solving skills, decision-making skills, etc. The last chapter of this book is chapter number 14, Moon and Space. For this chapter, we have a Velcro activity. As you can see, at the front, we have a beautiful night scene, and at the back, the fill in the blanks related to it. Next, we have these types of cards, and then the student has to fill in the blanks. How you can do this activity is mentioned in the instruction manual. Next activity for this chapter is, you can see this kit. You are provided this kit with the Mojo box, and then you can teach the students about various phases of moon through this activity. Everything is mentioned in the instruction manual. Next, we do have socio-emotional and logical skill card for this chapter as well, and this activity will develop gross motor skills and fine motor skills of the students, communication skills, care, responsibility, etc. I hope that these activities will help the students and you will make the class fun and interesting, and students will learn in a fun and creative way. These are all the activities that we have included in our eScience Made Fun with Mentors Mojo box. These are creative and fun activities that will help the students in learning in a fun way. I hope you will enjoy this Mojo box. Happy learning! We have also included Curious Mind Science Teachers Kit in our Mojo box so that the students can do various activities and can be little scientists. Also, we have our instruction manual with this kit as well, and as you can see, there are many products in it. Enjoy! I hope that these activities will help the students in learning in a fun and creative way and will help you in making the classroom fun and interactive. Do these activities, enjoy learning, happy learning!